I've had this hat on my radar for quite some time. In fact, I put out a poll on Instagram for everybody to tell me what project I should make quite frequently, and this hat is always in it, and somehow it always ends up just shy of first place. I mean, look at it. It's big, it's interesting, and it just looks really fun to make. And honestly, I have a really busy schedule for the next couple of weeks, and I thought a nice simple project would be really fun to work on. At least I hope it's a simple project. But I've done a lot of research, and by that I mean I stared at a picture a really long time to determine how the hat is built, and this is kind of what I've come up with. From what I can tell, the hat is just one big cutout circle from a very sturdy material. From there, it will also have the middle cutout for your head to go in, and then the hat part built into it. Then I'll just need to cover it in some fabric, add some fringe, and bam, hat. That all sounds good in theory, but let's get the materials and see what we have to build with. I'm not exactly sure if this is what I'm going to need to build the big rim of the hat with, but I figured it's good to have on hand anyway, you know, just in case. All right, next up is Target for some sparkly fringe and Michael's for some trim. I love shopping at craft stores, but when I first walked in, I ran into this. And I am not ready for that yet. So I've got two options when it comes to building the rim for this hat. First, I have recycled cardboard from downstairs, and then I have some of that foam that I just got. I guess now that I'm standing here looking at it, I think I'm leaning more towards the insulation board over the cardboard, because even if I stacked this twice and glued it all together, it would be sturdy, but I just have a feeling that like it's more bendable and dentable than the foam is. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think I'm gonna stick with the insulation board and go with that. I mean, it just feels so much more stable. Okay, so the hat needs to be a little wider than my shoulders because I think it needs to come out just a little past there. So let's get this measured. This seems really big, but 38 inches is what I am gonna go with. A fun little trick to making a perfect circle is to take a string and fold it in half, attach it to the middle, and draw around it. The hard part is cutting it out just as perfect as you traced it. I always end up making some kind of jagged edge somewhere. Alright, got my big circle and the head spot cut out, and it is a little big just because I'm going to put some EVA foam in there and seal it up a little bit better. But here's how it fits. My glasses are totally holding this up. Alright, let's make the top portion of the hat so that it actually fits on my head correctly. Recently, I was gifted some red silky fabric. Red isn't a color I gravitate to at all, really. Maybe it's due to the fact that I was stuck wearing red polos when I worked at Target years ago.
No! God, please, no! No!
Either way, it's not something I use that often. But since I have it, I should probably use it instead of storing it in some bin forever. And it is all covered, and that was way harder than I thought it was going to be. I've also burnt myself so many times with hot glue. But I think it's looking really good. The only problem is I have one little tiny spot right here where I think I just cut the fabric a little too far down when I was putting the top pieces on, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to cover that. It might just be with some ribbon. But what's next is the fringe, and the fringe is probably the thing that's really gonna make this hat really shine, because right now it looks giant. So let's talk fringe. So the fringe that's going to go around the hat, I had a couple of different ideas for. My first thought was that I could use some yarn. I would end up just dipping it in some Mod Podge and kind of stiffening it up a little bit, and then maybe it would like sit a little heavier and play nicer with the hat. But after a little bit more assessment on how the hat was actually put together, I think that I've actually determined that backdrop party fringe that you put on like a backdrop for your photos would work way better with this. And that's going to be a really better option than sticking my hands in a lot of glue because sticky. I wasn't sure if I could use a whole strip for this or if I needed to cut pieces off and cut them out and do it individually. Unfortunately, I had to cut them all out individually because the spacing for this was very off. But because of that, that definitely means I burned myself 1,000 times with hot glue. Okay, so I came in this morning, there was a couple things that I need to fix on the hat, but honestly I'm going to have to let it go until the shoot is over because it is very close to shoot time and I don't have time to fix those things. But honestly, the hat looks great on camera, and what I don't like I can just fix in Photoshop, so it's not really a big deal. Just don't look at it super close. But my person will be here in like 20 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and prepare the studio and get everything ready for the shoot. This shoot was a very short and sweet one, but boy did that hat look so cool on someone. It just sparkles anytime it moves, and I love that. Any way it was posed, it looked so freaking cool. I really can't wait to use it again in another shoot. Okay, let's talk about wins and loses when it comes to making this hat. Some wins, it looks damn good on camera. Like, even the little things that I don't love about the hat right now look really good on camera, and I don't know if you can actually see them. I haven't looked at the pictures up close yet, but through my little tiny camera screen, they look phenomenal. Some things I don't love would definitely be the issues that I was really struggling with hiding on the top of the hat, which honestly you can't actually see while the hat is being photographed unless you tip it all the way down. One of those issues is a little tiny hole type scenario that is sitting at the top of the hat. The second issue is I can't figure out how to get the ribbon to go around the rim of the hat and be completely flat. I just wanted it to be completely flat, and it is like puckering up everywhere. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what to do there. So if you have any tips on how to make ribbon lay flat, or something else I should use in place of ribbon, let me know in the comments, because I don't know what to do and it is driving me crazy. The hat itself was actually really just an easy project to make, and I'm glad that I did it. Now, am I running out of places to put all of these big props that I keep making, like the giant flower and the big hat now, and just the other stuff that I have? I don't know where to put them, but that's a problem for later just to figure out. But I'm gonna mosey on out of here because my studio is a literal disaster. There's stuff everywhere, and I need to get cleaning because I have shoots coming up this weekend, and I can't let anyone see this. But before I go, leave me a comment and let me know how to fix that ribbon issue, or tell me if you like the hat and what color I should make the next one, because I think I need 2 of them because they're really cool. And I'll see you next time.